my name is Philip Beck, and you the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've been watching the trailer for the Festive special, Revolution of the Daleks, and I just want to point out, I think I was the first channel to break the news. This was airing on New Year's Day, and I think I called the time slot 7 p.m. It's starting at 10 to 7, which means it's going up against, I believe, Emmerdale and Corrie. This will be a New Year's episode, so this is good. That's going to be interesting in of itself. That is interesting discussion. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about this trailer. I can't do a watch along because I'm sure I'm going to get copyright struck. I was copyright struck by the BBC when I did a review of Daleks, which is freaking awful. It's just, you've got to watch it to see how bad it is. You cannot imagine just how badly they've done with that. But I had a little clip of it on in the corner of the screen, and they copyright struck me. So I think they'll probably do this. So what I've done, I've gone through it. I grabbed screen grabs from it. I actually sat down and transcribed the dialogue, so we can talk about it in general. And then if we have time at the end, we'll look at what the official sources are saying about it in Radio Times. Radio Times, the shilly shill that is Radio Times. Fine. Before we get there though, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That'd be great. Can you hit that subscribe button? We just broke 1,900 subscribers. If you can get me to 2,000, whoa, wouldn't that be fantastic? That'd be absolutely great. I am incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly grateful for everybody subscribing. And also, if you're already subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube has been on a bit of a unsubscriber frenzy. For the last, basically through November. It's been really weird. They've taken about 50 subscribers off me, which is strange, but okay, but thank you. Thank you for saying that I'm important. If you subscribe, you can enter my competitions. The prize this week, I think we're going to run this for another few days, will be Just Dredd, the Mega Collection. Not the Mega Collection. I'm giving this away as a prize because I got the Mega Collection, and thus I have this story twice. I have no need to have it twice. This is Judge Dredd, the complete case files, which basically has been printed all the Judge Dredd stories. This is a particularly good one. It contains within it the Sabat storyline, the Judgment Day storyline with Sabat as a villain, where a bunch of zombies attack judges around the world. Pretty darn cool. Crosses over with Johnny Alpha, Strontium Dog. I like it a lot. So the villain's called Sabat. So to win this fantastic prize, check the video notes. You can just you leave the hashtag Sabat Shalom in the comments, and you will be put in the hat to be for the prize we pulled out soon. I'm not sure when. I was supposed to do it last night, but I was tired. I didn't get to it. Probably tomorrow. Probably on my live stream tomorrow. Also, if you're checking out the video notes, can you do one more thing for me? Check out. Actually, if you do one thing for me, this is the thing. Check out the link. There's a link to my Indiegogo. It's starting up in 2 or 3 weeks. For these two graphic novels, I'm building up an email list. If you can add your name to that email list, not your name, your email address to that email list, that'll be fantastic. I am ridiculously grateful. I'm absolutely ridiculously grateful for anybody doing it. If you do add your name to it and you make a purchase, then you get any one of these 4 art cards with any purchase. If you get the level where you get both graphic novels, you get all the art cards for free. So in that case, we're going to give you a chaser card, a card that you can't get any other way other than signing up. I'm not sure what the card's going to be yet. I don't know. I'm kind of going between Victoria Waterfield because the crazy people out there, the crazy cyber bullies out there, tried to come after me because I said Victoria Waterfield was awfully attractive, and I think she was. I think she was awfully attractive. Played by Deborah Watling. Funnily enough, I think she was. And listen, I'm not putting her entire self-worth on this. I just think Deborah Watling was more beautiful when she was later in life. And if you ever saw the straight-to-video thing, Downtime, I think she was even more beautiful there, but that's just my opinion. But now, of course, I'm also going between that and having Deanna Troi from Star Trek. Because, all these are basically based on my masturbatory fantasies from when I was 13, which were all genre-related, because I'm a massive geek. So anyway, so if you could hit add your names on the sign-up list, that would be fan-frickin-tastic. Thank you very much. Fine. So let's have a look at this trailer, right? We're going to start. Where did I put this? Doink up here, so I'll move myself over here. So first we open up with the exterior shot of the space prison, with a voiceover from Captain Jack. Captain Jack, we say, he's going, how many people in the universe get to meet the Doctor, let alone travel with her? So he has no problem with that. Then he has the pretty bit of a weird statement that you don't get to choose when it stops. Yes, you do. Excuse me. Every other companion, most other companions said, well, I'm going now. I think I'm going to marry this this Chancellery Guard, Gallifrey, or I'm going to marry Brian Blessed, or, whatever. But they normally do have a reason to leave. I'm going to stay in E-Space. I'm going to grow old and die with Rory. All these kind of things. I'm going to have my brain wiped by the... Time Lords. My memory is wiped by Time Lord, or not, as the case may be. I'm gonna leave and go back to Oxford if you're listening. I mean, look, most of the time people come and go on their own, on their own agency. So I don't really understand. Then it gets a bit weirder because then it says you don't get to choose when it stops, whether you leave her or she leaves you. What? Okay. So anyway, while we have that voiceover going on. We see the Doctor. The Doctor is still in prison, and she is trapped in prison. And this is something really interesting. I think they've hit upon something that's causing what we like to call consumer resistance. Consumer resistance in the marketing trade. Consumer resistance is when somebody sees your product and they would rather jump out the window than engage in your product. The consumer resistance being caused here is by Jodie Whittaker. So it looks like Jodie Whittaker is really not in this story much, right? So again, look, it's basically what you expect from Chris Chibnall to cherry pick ideas that have worked before, uncomfortably stitch them together in a boring way that no one's really interested in, and watch the ratings fall. That's really what it is. So I think this is going to be kind of like David Tennant's first Christmas special. Heaven forfend, this would be a Christmas special. No, it's got to be New Year's Day special. I think this it was like David Tennant's first one where he was mostly not in it, so I think they're going to do something like that. But really, he just regenerated, right? Something from post-regenerative, post-regenerative trauma. She's banged up in prison. Now, listen, I've been watching Doctor Who quite a number of years, and I think I've seen every Doctor Who episode. I've read, I've heard every Big Finish. I know quite a bit about Doctor Who. I've seen quite a lot of it. And the Doctor's been incarcerated many times before. Most of the time, the Doctor can just get out without much trouble. The only exception I can really think of is the Kate Orman book from the late 90s, I think, called Seeing Eye, in which the 8th Doctor was in prison for 2 years. And that was kind of interesting, but because it was so different. But the difference is between the 8th Doctor and Dr. Jodie is the 8th Doctor hasn't been played like a bumbling imbecile who was a completely incompetent. That was something out of the ordinary for it. Dr. Jodie has. Dr. Jodie has both been written and played like she's a bumbling imbecile. With little to no agency and just is a moron, right? I get she blocked the TARDIS. The first thing she did, blew up a TARDIS and got sucked out. Now, I thought that is a delightful introduction to this new character. No, it was what Dr. Jodie was. So she's banged up in prison, right? And she can't get out. And we get to see the prison cages. Listen, look, the production values look pretty darn good. There's you can just see in the top this where can I get up to it there if I point over here? Yeah. If you see right there, there's a big, looks like a Varga plant to me. Actually looks like a big Varga plant in jail. But anyway, look, this is the space jail where she's trapped in. I don't know. It's it could be a good idea. It probably isn't. It probably isn't that great of an idea. And she's looking out the window and trapped there. Honestly, something you shouldn't do with this Doctor is make her look like bumbling, stupid, and incompetent, because that's one of the reasons that most of fandom haven't really warmed up to her. Because it's not very doctory. to be bumbling, stupid, and incompetent. Being a conformist and a moral midget is probably not great at all. So anyway, back on Earth, we have the main story. This just feels to me like she's in the beginning and the end, and I doesn't, because all from all the other clips, you don't get the feeling the Doctor's involved in any of these things. They're just not being shown at all. I ain't just by looking at it. So anyway, so then back on Earth, we have, it looks like Yaz trying to figure out how to use the TARDIS or how to find the Doctor or something. You can see, let me zoom in. See, she's got all these like post-it notes up as she's trying to work something. That is Yaz, yeah, that's Yaz there. All these post-it notes up. Maybe she's trying to work out how to use the TARDIS. I don't know, but it's very clear here that Yaz is in charge. Yaz is totally in charge. She's stunning and brave and in charge. So this ties into a rumor where from the Daily Express, I think, came out yesterday or the day before, that Yaz is going to replace the Doctor. So I think it's kind of like a Clara thing, where Clara, replaced the Doctor for one episode, sort of, and you had her eyes into the Capaldi's. It seems to me that Yaz is the driving force, of the team. So, but Graham is who is the heart of the moral heart of the team, and the only one that anybody really kind of relates to, and any human being relates to. Says he goes, "Oh, God blimey, the Doc will want to keep us an eye on the planet, right?" Well, I think anybody would really want you to keep an eye on the planet, Graham. Maybe we would rather just keep an eye on you and blankety blank. I think that's on over Christmas, isn't it? So then Yaz turns around and goes, "But that's not possible." Oh no, she goes, "But how's that possible?" So here's why I think she's a leader. She's a leader of the group because, and it's the weirdest thing. Whenever liberal progressives make somebody they feel is in the progressive stack in a position of authority, like a woman, particularly a woman, they have different rules for different genders and races because they're massive racists. They always make them bewilderingly incompetent, and if you question them, you're a sexist. The best example is Admiral Hodo in The Last Jedi. And the Doctor in Doctor Who. I mean, they write and play her like she's bewilderingly incompetent. So we have Yaz, clearly the leader, because she's going, "But how's that possible?" Because she's being bewilderingly incompetent. Yeah, there's not. I don't know. I just think it's like maybe a hatred of toxic masculinity. So then we see what they're desperate will bring in viewers, and it's not going to bring in viewers at all. The Daleks, the new design Dalek. So this new design Dalek, we'll talk about it in the let's go right next to the next slide where you can see him a little bit better. These newly designed Daleks, they were designed to be different because there's no operator inside them, which is just a terrible idea. These are remote control Daleks. Listen, you could have done remote control Daleks at any time, but I think Russell T Davies et al. Wanted to put an operator inside it because you get a performance, right? You do. Go look at like pretty much any Dalek story. You get that Dalek. It's not just Nicholas Briggs' voice. It's the twitching of the eye stalk and the gun and the plunger. You get a performance. That's what you get. I didn't get the feeling of that from this clip. You got a feeling of them just kind of moving around slowly. So this looks like the idea they're ripping off here is Victory of the Daleks, maybe a bit of World War III. What was the name of the character, the woman from Ever Decreasing Circles? Was it Harriet? Oh, what's her name? Harriet Jones? Harriet? I can't remember. MP Fly Down North, that one. so look, this looks like we're outside number 10. Looks like we're doing political analogies again. Looks like they're gender changing Boris Johnson into an evil woman, so she's going to be more Margaret Thatchery, I guess. By the way, freaking loving The Crown. So just an aside, I'm up to episode 8 of the season 4 of The Crown. Absolutely freaking loving it. Love Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher, and they did this great episode where this titanic clash between the Queen and Margaret Thatcher. Anyway, I digress. So we have whoever she is. I missed out a couple lines. So we have Yazgo. Let's go back to Yazgo's. But how's that possible? Oh, I'm massively incompetent, so I must be the leader. And then Ryan goes, if we don't help the human race, it's going down. Okay, so again, I don't think you need the Doctor to impress the Doctor by saying maybe we all shouldn't die. And I will remind you, the Doctor did in fact destroy the human race. Remember, the Doctor did it. Captain Jack, last time I was there, he came back through time and said, under any circumstances, don't give the Siberian to the lone Cyberman. It's going to destroy humanity. And she does it, and she says, I'll work it out, me, Icky Thump, I'll work it out. And she didn't. The human race got destroyed. I did like the Cyberman design, though. So, I don't want to rank on things like too much, but I did like the Cyberman design. So then Graham goes to Yaz, you with us? So now she must have been being convinced to be the leader, right? So anyway, back to political analogy. We have the Thatcher alike saying, as you will see, new security drones. You will now see the new security drones at work, which are the Daleks. So again, we're clearly in a separate universe from the Russell Davies era. But I think that was established in the Matt Smith era, right? People didn't remember the Daleks, attacking Canary Wharf or whatever. So that I can live with. What I can't live with it seems to me to be a rip-off of Victory for the Daleks, right? Which wasn't one of the greatest episodes. I mean, I enjoyed the Mark Gatiss doing the whole Spitfire thing, in space. Daddy, went to the Doctor. I liked all that a lot. It was just a bit underwhelmed by the Teletubby Dalek design. I kind of think I prefer these to the Teletubby Daleks, but honestly, I think you really need to go traditional. You really need to go traditional with it for it to work. So then you're with us. So the Thatcher-like says, Jones at work. So then we get the Trump-alike. He's back, right? So do we see him in the next slide? Yeah, we see first we see his face. So they bring back the Trump-alike. What? 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 Okay. Here's the thing. In the 1930s, there were very naughty people in Germany. Very naughty people, National Socialists. Now, today the media and crazy people tend to say the current president of the United States is worse than the leader of those naughty National Socialists. But my point is this: after World War II, a lot of these naughty people went into hiding, and then Israel went into a seeking. We played a game of hide and seek. We were pretty good at it. And we found a lot of those naughty people. And then whenever we found one, we would bring them back to the place of the crime. Like the Nuremberg trials is to be tried is a good example. So I would say, if you're one of those naughty National Socialists, right, and you've been found and you've been brought back to trial, maybe at your trial you shouldn't put up pictures of those fun little camps they had in Germany and a lot of Europe where people concentrated very, very, very hard, right? You shouldn't put the pictures of those up, especially ones that you were personally responsible for, right? The idea is, it's not a good idea to show off your greatest failures, right? Your absolute greatest failures, or remind people of the moment of your absolute greatest failures. So I think Arachnids in the UK was the moment where most people, now I held out for another week, to be honest with you, that most people went, this is not good. We have a incredibly divisive, very condescending a snub at half of the audience, whereby bringing this character in, clearly meant to be the president, an allegory for him, clearly meant to be him. And one of the greatest criticisms of the current era is it's preachy, and I think it's politically preachy. And I think this is an article is political preachiness. It's just a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea, but you need to say that with a Chris Chibnall script. I think that's kind of implicit, right? So they're bringing him back for some unknown reason, like, bit of divisive politics. That's gone really badly for us, right? Of course, they've made this before they saw how badly they did with season 12, right? They thought they filmed this with season 12 and they didn't know how bad it was going to be. Although they must have some idea because they started on Time Lord Victorious before season 12 ends, so they knew the sales data was pretty dire. That they had to have, much like this episode, a Jodie Light marketing initiative. Like, again, it doesn't feel like Jodie's like just off camera and they're hiding her. It feels like she is not in any of these scenes, right? It feels like she is not involved. Probably one of their smartest moves, which is kind of surprising, but okay. So anyway, he's saying these machines are going to change the world. So yeah, he's being duped. They didn't actually have him as being evil last time, just sort of like bombastic and a bombastic simpleton. So this scene here, we have them looking like they're opening up a Dalek casing and they're looking inside. Then it cuts to Ryan, Graham, and Yaz walking across the street. With Ryan saying, "You remember us?" This is the three that's confronting them. They've seen a Dalek before, right? They saw it in Resolution. Then we get back to Captain Jack Harkness doing a bit of info. Hi, I'm Captain Jack Harkness. I am the reason that you should tune into this show, which people aren't going to. Please tune in. I'm a very good-looking man, and everybody likes me, and we do. I have to tell you, every time I watch David Tennant here or Chris Eccles here, Doctor Who, right, and I hear the opening titles, I hear Captain Jack from that incredible watch-along, World's End. Was it Jonas End? At the titles during the watch-along, just singing like, "Whoa, it's the greatest opening ever!" And his incredible enthusiasm and love, it just like pours through, and it's really hard not to like John Barrowman, right? It's really hard not to like him. He seems just an incredibly likable, nice person. So that his charisma just oozes out, and that and the Daleks is their sales pitch, and saying, look, the Daleks aren't really in this, right? Dr. Jodie isn't really in this, right? So let's not focus on her at all. So he does an info dump, says, I'm Captain Jack Harkness and I'm immortal. So let's so they know about that then. Okay. Again, doesn't feel like the Doctor is in any of these things. Then the next thing we have is this, which it's really a direct rip-off from Jonas End. The end of the Catherine Tate season where you saw Dalek saucers fly overhead. Great production design, great production values. I liked all that, but it's the greatest hits. It's Christian or a cover band for the greatest hits with far less talent. So then, of course, we have to have Yaz, the leader of the group, because the Doctor's not there. Looking like she's talking to Captain Jack, right? My initial thought was she was talking to the Trumper-like, but it looks like she's talking to Captain Jack. These machines going to, and so I did right. So you remember us? I'm checking out who's immortal. Jazz goes, are you feeling insecure because you need a lot? You seem to need a lot of praise. A bit of like flicking your face at the those evil toxic white males. We don't like all the silly masculinity. Like I've had enough. I had enough when that guy regenerated at the end of Capaldi's run and said became a stunning, brave black woman. Said, "Oh, thank God we got rid of all the toxic masculinity." I'm like, "Oh God." So Captain Jack replies, "Do I? Now, does he need a lot? I don't know. He doesn't see. He seems to create his own, positive reinforcement, right? He seems to create. He does. I don't think he's really dependent on Yaz saying he's studying away. But yeah, it seems to me Yaz is the absolute center of this one. So then we get a bit of Dalek action. Thankfully, we hear Nick Briggs's Dalek, which is and he does listen. I'm glad Nick Briggs got a job. I like Nick Briggs, okay? I have a very different worldview for Nick Briggs. I like Nick Briggs. And I kind of like these Dalek designs as well. In another era, I think I would have liked it more. So I'm showing you like these two because they're flying around. They got this like red glow from inside. These red orange engines underneath. All that I find pretty good. Honestly, I think a lot of the design of the current era is pretty good, and it's better than it deserves. I've always maintained the Cyberman design is perhaps the best Cyberman design I've ever had. It really is. It exudes the essence of Cyberman-ness, and it's got that heavy clunkiness. Really, 100% work. I even like the Cyber Lords, actually, which I know most people don't. But honestly, I don't want to be like, everything's bad. I want to say what's good when something's good, but there's not that much that's good, is it? So anyway, we see these Daleks flying around. Again, this seems like very, very similar to Journey's End. They shoot people. I think probably in the same street they shot it in Journey's End. Pew, pew, pew. And we get to see a bit more of the Daleks. Again, this seemed fine to me, okay? Another thing which I want to point out is the music actually seemed to work, and I haven't thought that about the music in Doctor Who since they got rid of Murray Gold, right? The music seemed to be appropriate. It seemed to be like cinematic and emotional, right? Which maybe it's because Dr. Jodie wasn't there. That could be. Maybe she just saps the life out of everything. So we get a bit more of a montage, more Dalek shooting things. And again, look, this all looks fine. This all looks fine. Cut back to Trumper-like. And he goes, you guys. So this must link up to, where is it? This scene over here. You remember us? And he goes, you guys, you're insignificant, blah, blah, blah. So then we get a little shot of, looks like a Dalek incubation. I'm going to guess this is not on a spaceship. There's some kind of terrestrial Dalek incubation going on. And the rumor is, Chris Chibnall and Matt Stevens said in the recent Radio Times article, the next time they're going to do a Dalek, they're going to do a Dalek origin story. So why? Have you seen Genesis of the Daleks? Pretty good origin story. We don't really need it, but I think. And then the rumor was that there was going to be a female carded scientist who was on top of Davros. It was all her idea. So who knows? But this, I'm gonna guess, is a terrestrial incubation facility. Next we see Yaz in charge, because Yaz is totally in charge, and she goes. You hear Captain Jack. Oh no! First, when you see this, Captain Jack goes, "Don't move." You hear him say, "Don't move," and Yaz then turns around and goes, "Now, Jack," because she's in charge. Yes, she's the bestest ever. She is the bestest ever. That's who she is. Then we see this scene, which we saw from the teaser. He's firing a gun, and you hear the TARDIS. We don't see it in this one, but in that 3-second clip, he's there, and you hear the TARDIS engines. I'm gonna make a guess. That's Yaz flying the TARDIS. I'm gonna guess that's Yaz learning how to fly that other TARDIS that they have. It's not the Doctor, because I don't think the Doctor's in this that much, right? I really don't think she's come to save the day. So this actually looked like a pretty good scene. This is in the facility. Captain Jack's there, and that to me looks like a Dalek mutant, and it's jumping down, and it wraps itself around Captain Jack. That looked good, right? That looked good. I don't want to diminish anything. And so basically the minute's up. Your minute of fame is up. We're back to Dr. Jodie, seemingly detached from the action, detached from the story altogether, saying, stay strong, people waiting for you. No, nobody is. I mean, yeah, there is a few ads, but nobody really is. And then we get to see, the title card, Doctor Who, Revolution of the Daleks, not Revolution of the Dalek, as Jodie Whittaker said, although understandable that she got it wrong, as she's apparently not in it. So, I can understand, maybe she only only did a one-day of filming. New Year's Day, as I predicted, as I said, but a couple of weeks ago when everyone was saying, Christmas Day, I said New Year's Day. So what's the thinking of putting it against Emmerdale and Coronation Street? Well, firstly, it starts 10 minutes before Emmerdale. So I think they're hoping that initial 10 minutes will grab people. But I think if people watch something for 2 minutes, they count them as a viewer. So I think that's what's going on with that. But is it being put there to die? It was put against Coronation Street, I think, to die in the 80s. But why would they commission another 8 episodes, right? Which is a very, very expensive endeavor. Why would they commission 8 episodes? And quite frankly, I am reasonably impressed with the current production team for being able to pull together 8 episodes. I really am. I think they're going to be awful, but the fact they can make them, pretty darn impressive. So, what is the reason to do that to die? I think they're just saying that they think that this is an alternative audience, right? An alternative audience that isn't being served, and maybe people will flock there rather than watching Corey or Emmerdale. I don't know. Listen, in terms of if I'm to guess what the ratings will be, just keeping in line with a natural rate of decline. This last season started at 5.7, which was the lowest rated. I think it's the lowest rated Festive special ever. You got to expect, just like in a normal decline, to keep the rate of descent, which actually increased with Timeless Children. But you got to expect a 30% drop there. So 5.7, that's 1.21. That's what was it? 3.6. So no. That's 1.5. It's 2. 1 second. 30% of 5.7 is 30% of 5 is 1.5 million, and 0.7 it'd be 7, 14, 20. 1 point, yeah. So take off 1 point. Take off 1.3, right? 1.3. So that'll bring it down to 4.6. I think you got to expect a greater rate of decline than that, because it's the show that people really don't like. Yeah, Jodie Whittaker has turned people off, which I think is why she was in this trailer so little, right? I think Jodie Whittaker has really turned people off Doctor Who. I think they're looking consolidated ratings will be under 4. I'm gonna guess that consolidated ratings will be under 4. Might even be under 3. Oh my god, if they're under 3, that'll be incredible. When you see the overnights, don't add on more than 500,000 to get to the consolidated, and that's being generous. This era of Doctor Who, also as well as not getting very good overnight figures, gets very poor, very, very poor time shifted viewing. So there you go. That fine. Let's see what Radio Times has to say about this monstrosity. Chris North confirmed for Doctor Who return as special guest announced for Festive special. So the guys with there is a pretty good actor. It was from Misfits and also Utopia. I liked him. So Chris North. So I can see him being excited about his casting if you like Sex and the City. I would say, if you like Sex and the City, yeah, probably in a somewhat different demographic from your average Doctor Who fan. Revolution Dalek says, bring some big names. Who cares? Jeffrey Morgan wrote this, not Hugh Fullerton. What a shame. Hugh Fullerton's always amusing. The Daleks won't be the only old foe returning to play the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker in this Festive special. It's been announced Chris North will be reprising his role as Jack Robertson in Revolution of the Daleks. Terrible idea. It's just an act of insanity. But again, this was all written and made before season 12 imploded and did worse than anybody could possibly imagine. Sex and the City star North previously appeared as a business tycoon and aspiring politician. Robertson in season 11's Arachnid UK. An absolutely awful episode. Not only was it obnoxious and divisive, it was boring. It's an absolute terrible episode. With his dodgy dealings being responsible for the rise of a breed of giant mutant spiders that weren't monsters at all, and they died, and they all died by the Doctor's hand, leaving them to choke to death or asphyxiate under their own weight. Alongside North's Revolution, Daleks is confirmed to air on New Year's Day. Will feature appearance of Dane Harriet, Walter Killing Eve, and Nathan Stewart Jarrett, the trial of Christine Keeler. So yeah, I do like Nathan Jules Jarrett. Very, very good in Misfits, which is a show I enjoyed. Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall said, "We've crammed this year's Festive special with an explosion of extraordinary acting talent." Yeah, I remember after, when I hadn't realised how bad this would be, after The Woman Who Fell to Earth, they had the extended trailer for the season. And like, when Russell D. Davies or Moffat did the season trailer, right? You saw all these like exciting stuff that's going to happen this season. Went, woo, wow, woo, Alfred Starlight, Slideman, yeah. So when Chris Chibnall did that, we just saw actor upon boring picture, actor upon actor upon actor upon actor upon actor upon actor upon actor. And it was boring because that's what Chris Chibnall does. I don't know. Where else would you get British acting royalty, a globally renowned US screen star? Again, Sex and the City. I get that you like it, all right? I get that you flick off your vagina to Sex and the City because that's who you are. But, most Doctor Who fans are not like, oh, Sex and the City. I mean, I like The Crown. So there is that. But Sex and the City, not so much. Why don't you get Lena Dunham in it? Yeah, that would make you feel great. An international stage treasure and screen and one of Britain's hottest young actors, just in the guest star. Put those together with Jodie Whittaker. Well, not so much Jodie Whittaker. Let's be honest. Bradley Walsh, Mandip Gill, and Tosin Cole. And Daleks. Did I mention the Daleks? And thank God they used Nick Briggs as the voice. And you get a cast to be exterminated for. And things will explode. Promise. Okay. Whatever. Reveling the Daleks will pick up where the Doctor is still locked away in a high security alien prison where we left her at the end of series 12. So the funny thing about this is, and also bringing back, the Trump-like, the Sex and the City guy, is that, and I've noticed this in general, this complete tone-deaf denial of reality for how much this era has absolutely failed. It's completely failed. And it's like they're treating it like it's a David Tennant. You're like, oh, look, Rose is coming back. Well, but it's not. It's not. It's just, all this would make sense if it was popular. But it's not. It's not at all. With the Daleks on ride, will her companions Jazz, Mandip Gill, Ryan, Tosin Cole, and Graham Bradley will be able to vanquish the alien menace? Well, they're not going to get any help from the Doctor. Even with the help of Captain Jack, John Barrowman, listen to the radio, blah, blah, blah. Fine, yeah, bit of a puff piece. Not really saying much, because there's not really much to say. Listen, so this is going to come out on a Friday. I'm not going to be able to watch it till Saturday night because I'll be offline because it's the Sabbath. So I'll have the ratings when I eventually see it. Looking forward to see what they do. It's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be bad. I think this is gonna be a bit of a bloodbath on Doctor Who. They should have really called it The Absence of the Doctor rather than Revolution of the Daleks, because the Doctor. Promise you won't see much of her. Maybe they should write that on the post. We promise you won't see much of her. Please watch. I know. EastEnders and Emmerdale set up massive cliffhangers on Christmas Day to be resolved on New Year's Day. But don't worry about that. Watch Doctor. No one's watching, mate. No one's watching. Don't forget my Indigo. Go ahead and sign up for it. That'd be really, really fantastic. Thank you very much, and have yourselves a fantastic day.